Hey friends, welcome back to Blessings and Surprise. Today's episode is going to have a ton of cleaning motivation for you. This is the giant mess after hosting Thanksgiving, and today's video is just going to be getting it all cleaned up, getting the house reset, and put all back together. So grab your to-do lists and clean along with me today. Hey everyone, thanks for hanging out with me today as I get my mess cleaned up. If you are new to my channel, my name is Anne and I am married with 3 children who are teenage and preteen aged, and we live on a 65-acre farm in Pennsylvania. We have goats, chickens, ducks, dogs, and homing pigeons, and a hamster. I also have a huge garden, and we do a lot of canning and preserving, freeze drying, dehydrating, all kinds of things. So if you stick around on my channel, you will see all kinds of content, not just cleaning motivation. And I'll have gardening and preserving. There are some other things already up on my channel if you want to check out stuff like that. But today's task is getting this mess cleaned up. So we hosted Thanksgiving at my house, and this was probably, I want to say like the 3rd or 4th year that we've hosted. I can't remember when we started hosting, but we really enjoy hosting Thanksgiving, and we're so grateful that since we moved to this big farmhouse, we actually have room to host all of our family, because we do have a large extended family. And oh, this is the chocolate fountain. You will see me scrubbing this later. It's really fun for the kids, and I get it out at Thanksgiving each year, but it is a pain in the butt to clean, and that's why it comes out once a year. I know it's fun for the kids. I want them to have that to do on Thanksgiving, but again, it only makes an appearance once a year because it is so hard to clean. But anyways, if you are interested in a chocolate fountain, I'll link that down below in the description box. It was pretty inexpensive. I think I got it from Walmart, so it's really fun for the kids. But I'm sure it would be a lot easier to clean if you do it right away while the chocolate is still liquid. But I was in the middle of a party, so I wasn't going to stop and clean that. So I'm starting off my cleaning here in the room where the kids were eating. I was sure I was going to find way more crumbs on the floor in that room than anywhere else. So decided to start in there and work my way across the house. And also, this is what we use as our craft room. And my girls were off. This was the day after Thanksgiving. So my husband and my son were out hunting, but, they were pheasant hunting. I know you can't, let me not get in trouble here. They weren't deer hunting the day early. They were out pheasant hunting at a club that we belong to. But anyways, the boys were out hunting, and the girls were home, and this is what we use as our craft room. And the girls are both very crafty. My older daughter has a Cricut machine. My younger daughter loves to sew and do crochet and knitting and things like that. So they wanted their craft room back. So I was like, all right, let me start in here, get this all cleaned up and get out of their way, and then they can spend their day doing fun things in here. I'm just zooming in right here to show you the centerpiece that my girls worked together on to make for Thanksgiving. They used the Cricut machine to cut out all those little leaves, but my younger daughter colored it to make the leaves look like fall leaves, and then my older daughter cut them out on the Cricut. So they were very proud of that, so I thought I'd zoom in and show the world their hard work. So now that the craft room is all cleaned up, I'm moving on to the dining room. This is where most of the adults were eating. And this room actually isn't too bad to start off with because I did clean up most of it the night before but I did still have some snacks to put away, some cookies, the crock pot, things like that. And I did want to wipe down all these placemats before we put them away, just to get all the crumbs and sticky stuff off of them. I did want to point out that bin that I just pulled out of the corner cabinet in the dining room. I will post a link to those in the description box. I got those from Amazon, and I was looking for ways to store things in those corner cabinets without them being out in the open, but I couldn't find a basket that was triangular in shape. And so I did end up finding those, they're like a cloth bin. They were designed to hold coat hangers, or like hangers for your closet. So they were shaped like a triangle because they were shaped like hangers. And they ended up being the perfect size to fit in those corner cabinets. So if you are looking for storage for triangular shaped corner cabinets, I will post a link to those in the description box. But the one thing I did do with those, because they were canvas and they were a little bit floppy, I took a piece of cardboard and placed it across the front to keep the front of it to keep it firm so that stuff wouldn't just like fall out the front. So there's just like one piece of cardboard in the front of it, but other than that, it's just a canvas bag, and it works so well for that spot. So I can hide like all of our paper plates and napkins that we use for parties. And then on the other side, I have like all of the plastic utensils and serving utensils that we use for big parties and stuff. So it's stuff I don't need to get to all the time, but I want to have it in the dining room because that's where we use it. And it's just a nice little way to tuck it away. So if you have odd spaces like that, I really encourage you to get creative. Don't limit yourself to what people would normally put into a dining room. Like I said, these are coat hanger bins for a closet, but they ended up working out perfectly in this space. So let's have a little fun and do a poll in the comments. So, question for you guys: what is your favorite food for Thanksgiving? I don't know if I can just pick one. I might have to say stuffing, although this year I wasn't able to eat the stuffing. I'm supposed to be eating low carb to keep my Lyme disease in check. So I did not have any stuffing this year, but I think normally that would probably be my favorite. I liked to make mine with just bread cubes, onions, carrots, and I was using a non-dairy butter because I'm sensitive to dairy, but those are the only ingredients, and it just came out so good every year. I just loved that stuffing. But what are your favorite foods to eat at Thanksgiving time? And speaking of Thanksgiving foods, I would love to know if anybody else out there cooks their turkey the way I do. It's a little unconventional, but I think it is just the easiest way to make a turkey, and you end up with delicious results every time, and you don't have to be good at cooking. The first year that we hosted Thanksgiving, I was so intimidated about making a whole turkey. I was like, how am I going to do this? I don't know how to make a turkey, right? Like it's so complicated. Like you have to season it under the skin. You have to put stuff in the cavity. You have to like baste it constantly. You have to watch it. You have to like know exactly how long to cook it. And then inevitably the breast meat dries out before the thighs are done. And it's just like, you're going to have dry turkey no matter what, So I actually make my turkey in a crock pot. Well, in 2 crock pots because I couldn't fit it all in one. So what I do, and I will I'll put a link in the description box to my recipe. I actually have a blog post about the recipe I did a few years ago. And, oh yeah, sorry, ignore the camera angle here. The camera just like fell over partly while I was unloading the dishwasher, and I didn't realize it. So like you can't see the dishwasher. Sorry about that. But anyways, getting back to the turkey. So what I do is I have the butcher. Well, first of all, let me explain. We get a fresh turkey. Okay, so we don't buy frozen turkey. We have family who raises turkey on their farm every year, and so we buy turkey from them. So our turkey is not frozen when we get it. It's fresh. They butcher it the weekend before Thanksgiving. So my husband usually goes over and helps with the butchering process. So we get to, special order how we want ours cut up, basically. So I have them just separate out the breast meat, the legs, and the wings, and just, cut it apart so it's in pieces. And so I can fit it all in my crock pot. So what I do before I stick it in the crock pot is I sear it in a pan on the stove. And in order to sear it, I have olive oil that I infuse with rosemary, garlic, thyme, and lemon juice. And then I cover the turkey with salt and pepper, and I sear it in that pan before I put it in the crock pot. And then after I sear it, so you get like a nice brown skin on it, after I sear it, then you like put it in the crock pot and pour all of that oil and just add in all the like rosemary and garlic and everything on top. It comes out so good every year. It's delicious and it's so juicy and tender. And I cook it on high for 4 hours. You could also do low for 8 hours. But I swear it's like I will never cook turkey any other way again because it's so good. And it's so nice to have your turkey just off in the crock pot doing its thing. You don't have to watch it. You don't have to baste it. You know exactly when it's going to be done. You're not watching for a meat thermometer to pop or anything like that. It's a very, very easy hands-off way to make it. And I know it like sounds complicated the way I was seasoning it and searing it, but it's really not. You can read my blog post. It's a lot easier than it sounds. But anyways, it comes out so good. And so it's nice then your oven is freed up to make all the sides. So that is how I cook my turkey. But I wonder, does anybody else cook their turkey in a crock pot for Thanksgiving? Let me know.
Waiting for the sunshine. Waiting for the sunshine. Ooh, waiting for the sunshine. Waiting for the sunshine. Ooh, waiting for the sunshine. Waiting for the sunshine. Ooh.
So as you can see, I have moved on to cleaning the kitchen. I kind of have a little routine in the kitchen. Well, the first thing I do is put away the clean dishes, reload the dishwasher. But then I started out with wiping down like the big things that don't belong in the kitchen and getting them out of the way, because when I have this many dishes to wash, I really have to use like the entire countertop to lay everything out to dry. So I was trying to get all the big stuff out of the way. I moved the warming trays. They belong in the dining room, so I got those out. But if you saw me scrubbing the counter, that's because that's where the chocolate fountain was happening during the party. And I was scrubbing all of the chocolate off the counter. But like I said, it is really fun for the kids. They had, we got them strawberries and marshmallows and pretzels and bread cubes. Can't remember if there was anything else they were dipping in there, but they had a blast with that. And it's, like I said, it's not something we do all the time because we really do try to eat healthy in our house, and we don't let our kids have a ton of sugar and junk food. But Thanksgiving, like the whole point of Thanksgiving is to pig out, right? Like that is, I mean, obviously we focus on being thankful for what we have, but it's also the biggest eating day of the year. So like you kind of have to splurge. If you're going to splurge at any time of the year, it's going to be on Thanksgiving. So we let them have lots of desserts and all kinds of goodies on Thanksgiving. And then, of course, they're all in like a sugar coma the next day. But it was a splurge and they had a lot of fun with it. So I wanted to take a quick time out from the cleaning to show you what I did with these for our Thanksgiving dinner. So you can do this with any container. You have multiples of the same size and shape. What you can do with your cold food is stack them in the bottom container. You fill it with ice and then put your food on top, and all your cold food can sit on the ice the entire time, and that way you can set it on the table on a buffet and it keeps your cold food cold the whole party. So anyways, I had a whole bunch of these containers out yesterday for our cold food, so that's why you see me washing like 12 of them. But it's a really great tip if you're trying to keep your food safe if it's going to be sitting out for a while.
Take me home, take me on a ride. I got a good feeling about the colors lighting up your eyes. Take me home, take me to the sky. I got a good feeling. Tell me the only thing you are is mine now. Na, 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 na. I got a good feeling. Na, 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 na. I got a good feeling. Good feeling. You wanna know is how to hold on to it every moment. Dive into it like my love is an ocean. It's overflowing. I swear it's golden. So good that I'm rolling. Baby, you make me crazy. I'm seeing roses. Baby, just maybe you save me. Oh, take me home.
So that little scrub brush that you just saw me fill with dish soap, I love that scrub brush. It makes it so easy to wash like the big stuff that doesn't fit in the sink very well. Because it has the soap in the brush, you can just wet the brush down and scrub whatever you need to scrub. It doesn't have to be in the sink, and then you can just rinse it off. So it makes it really easy to wash the big dishes, but really any dishes. So I have one upstairs and I have one in my downstairs kitchen as well. Yes, I am that spoiled that I have two kitchens in our house. Like I said, it's an old farmhouse, and the previous owners put in a second kitchen in the basement because she also did a lot of canning. And so that was one of the huge selling features of this house, was I knew I would have a space for canning in the basement and not have to like have my family eat out when I'm canning because I'm taking over the entire kitchen. So that was a really nice feature of the house.
So good that I'm doomed, yeah. Baby, you make me crazy. I'm seeing roses. Baby, just maybe you save me. Oh, take me home, take me on a ride. I got a good feeling about the colors lighting up your eyes. Take me home, take me to the sky. I got a good feeling. Tell me the only thing you are is mine.
So I've been watching a lot of other YouTube videos lately. One of the YouTubers that I just started following, she's named The Minimal Mom. I am loving her videos, and I am not affiliated with her in any way. I'm not partnered with her. I'm just sharing my life with you, and this is what's going on in my life right now. But I am loving her videos, and I will see if I can like link to her page down in my description box. I don't know how to do that, but I'll try to figure it out before I post this video. But anyways, if I can't make that link work, then just Google or look up on YouTube The Minimal Mom. But I have learned so much from her videos, and not that I'm trying to be a complete minimalist with like nothing in my house other than myself, you know what I mean? But I think that all of us really can benefit from having less stuff in our lives. And I have just been inspired to really like declutter and to try to live a more simple life, with less stuff that I have to manage and organize and clean all the time. And I'm just really like getting a lot out of her videos. So I just wanted to share that with you. If you're feeling overwhelmed or stressed or having a hard time cleaning your house, you probably just have too much stuff. And so, anyways, the reason I bring this up is because one of the things that I took from her videos was keeping your countertops clear and always like keeping up on the dishes and keeping your kitchen clean. And that's something that I have always really struggled with because in my situation, I have to eat a different diet from the rest of my family for health reasons. And so I do cook from scratch most nights. And so especially when I'm cooking for myself, I can't take any shortcuts. I'm on like a complete whole foods diet, so I have to make everything from scratch. And it takes so many dishes to make a meal in my house. And especially when I dirty all my dishes cooking for my family, and then it's time for me to eat, and all the dishes are already dirty, like it's an overwhelming thing. So, needless to say, I've had a tough time keeping up with dishes, keeping the kitchen clean. And there are so many nights where I just go to bed and say, I'll wash that tomorrow. And I'm learning since Thanksgiving, I'm very, very proud of myself. Since Thanksgiving, I have kept the kitchen clean every single day, all day long. I have immediately dealt with the dishes, washed them, dried them, put them away, right after I use them, and been able to keep the kitchen completely clutter free. And at the time that I'm recording this, it's after midnight. I should be sleeping, but technically it is Thursday after Thanksgiving. So it's been an entire week that I've been able to keep it clean. And I have to tell you, it has made such a difference in the feeling of our house and just like having a calm atmosphere and not feeling stressed. It has made it so much easier to cook because when I go to cook, my dishes are clean and the countertops are clean and there's space to cook in and everything is ready. And it just makes it so much easier and nicer. And I have been cleaning the dishes as I go while I'm cooking. So when I'm done cooking, I don't have a total like countertop covered in dirty dishes. I just have one or two from the last part of what I was cooking. And it's made it so much nicer. Yeah, this is the chocolate fountain that it's going to take me like 10 years to scrub this now. Um, Again, recommend cleaning that immediately. That is another one of those things. If you clean it right away while the chocolate's still liquid, you don't have to scrub so hard. But anyways, but yeah, I just wanted to share that with you because I found it so rewarding that for an entire week, I have had this sense of calm and peace and clutter-free space in our kitchen. And it has just been such a nice space to work in because it is so clutter-free. And so I am going to try to do that with the rest of my house. We're going to see how that works out. I mean, I'm one of those people who starts out strong and then just like fizzles out. So like I'm really proud of myself that I managed to go an entire week keeping the kitchen clean. And I really feel like the benefit that I've got from it is going to encourage me to keep it going and to encourage me to start on other rooms. I think the next room I'm going to try to do that with is our family room or living room, whatever you want to call it, because that would be the second room, like the next room that we spend the most time in other than the kitchen. And so I'm going to try to go like room by room in the house and create that same calm, clutter-free atmosphere where you don't have so much junk. Now, of course, I say this right now while the house is decorated for Christmas, and my youngest daughter wanted to decorate for Christmas, so I put her in charge. I just let her put stuff wherever she wanted it. And It's very decorated, I will say that. There's hardly a space in the house that does not have decorations on it, and that's fine because the kids enjoy that and it's Christmas and it's allowed. But I think especially after the holidays, I think I really am gonna try to simplify in each room. Um, Sorry, I'm rambling about this, but it's something that I have found so much value in. So I just wanted to share it with you. Again, the YouTube channel I was watching is called The Minimal Mom. I also am watching Cass from Clutterbug, if you can find that one too. That's another great one, and they will just motivate you to simplify your life and have less stress and less stuff to manage. So I found that very helpful. I hope you find it helpful too. And I'm just going to get back to cleaning. So in case you're wondering what kind of spray I'm using to clean with, it's actually just a mixture of vinegar and water. I generally mix it up about 50-50. Sometimes I'll add a little more vinegar, just depending on how strong I want it to be. But I just have a spray bottle, just a reusable glass spray bottle with a silicone base, and I'll link that for you in the description box. But literally I just use white vinegar and water, and that cleans better than any of the fancy cleaners that I've tried. I feel like a lot of those cleaners leave a sticky film behind after you clean, and vinegar just gets stuff so clean. So that's what I use for everything. I use it on the countertops, the tables, just wherever I'm cleaning. And the vacuum cleaner I was just using is a Shark, and I will try to link that for you if I can find it as well. That one's really handy. It's cordless, so I like to use that in the kitchen so I can get underneath the table and around all the chairs more easily than using my big one. And so I'm just unloading the dishwasher for the second time today. And I'm nearing the home stretch. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. It has been a very long day of cleaning, but honestly, I kind of enjoyed it because I knew I was going to clean all day and film it. And you know what? You guys make it easier for me. And I should thank you for that. You make it a whole lot more enjoyable for me to clean because I know that I have you guys watching and that I am not alone in this endeavor. And honestly, it's motivating. You're holding me accountable because I'm like, okay, people are watching. I have to do a good job and I got to get all this done. So while I was drying those dishes, my girls came in and wanted to eat lunch. They do not like to be on camera, and that is totally fine with me. No pressure at all to put them on camera, but I didn't want to let the dishes sit there any longer because I just wanted to be done. So I apologize. I finished drying and putting away the dishes off camera while the girls were eating lunch. But now I am just scrubbing the kitchen clean, and this is still what it looks like 1 week later. It is completely clear. I ended up taking all the extra stuff off the countertops except for my knife block in the corner, which I use those knives every day, and the toaster. I would get a lot of pushback from my family if I moved that toaster. So they use it every day. I don't, but they do. So I left it out. But other than that, everything else is cleared off of the countertops and I am loving it. Absolutely loving it. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. Thank you for motivating me to clean my house. And I look forward to seeing you guys in my next video. Bye for now.